Welcome to the My Brain, My Happiness podcast. My name is Joe, and on each episode, it is my goal to spread awareness on mental health. No, I'm not a therapist, a psychiatrist, or a medical doctor. I'm just a guy who has had a lifelong relationship with mental illness, specifically OCD. Together with you, I want to blow the roof off the stigma that comes with having a mental illness. You need to know you're not alone. I promise this podcast will be upbeat and positive. My goal with each episode is to make you understand that you don't have to take this on alone or in silence. Now let's change some lives. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of My Brain, My Happiness. I'm Joe, and I'm out here just trying to keep it real and talk about mental illness and mental illness awareness and how, I suffer from mental illness myself with OCD, depression and anxiety, and I've learned a lot of coping skills along the way. You know, I've got a life coach certification and things of that nature, and it's not a replacement for being a therapist, but, I just want to help people. And I will always suggest going to a therapist or a psychiatrist, especially if you're going to think about medication and things of that nature. But, we're just out here having a discussion. That's really what this is. I want you to feel like, you and I are sitting in a bar somewhere, or maybe sitting, just sitting in a living room or across the table, and we're just shooting the shit about our lives. And that is the purpose of my podcast. Today, I want to talk a little bit about controlling your own happiness. Too many fucking assholes out there, right? That they want to bring you down. They get off on it. They do things, they say things, they purposely try to get you going. They know the right things to say, they know the right things to do, to just push those buttons a little bit, right? You don't need those people in your life, but if you're stuck with them, you need to start to take your happiness back. Giving someone else that control is giving someone else way, way too much power. More power than anybody deserves to have over you. I feel the same way about all the politicians in Washington. I'm not fucking giving them my happiness. I'm going to go out and I am going to vote for who I'm going to vote for. If that person wins, they win. If they don't, they don't. But I'll be damned if I'm going to sit around and be pissed off about who wins and who doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, and I see all these people out on social media, and they've been fighting with each other for years now. And it goes on and on and on. I'm like, oh my God, people, will you just stop? I mean, life is fucking short, right? You come this way one time, and I feel that each day that you spend fighting with someone to try to change their opinion on something that they're not going to change their mind on, and arguing about, especially when you argue about stuff that you don't know shit about, it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense to me, because they've got their feet dug into the sand in their beliefs right now, and you're not going to change their mind, and they're not going to change yours. So stop letting them control your happiness. Stop letting them let you get upset. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Try to surround yourself with people that bring happiness and joy to your life, and take your happiness back, because you are the only one who controls your happiness. You are the one who decides who gets to control your happiness. People, if somebody says and does something to you and it upsets you and it gets you into a sad mood or an angry mood, or, you decided to do that. You're the one who let them have that power. And you're the one who has to say, fuck it, I am taking it back. And when you do that, the feeling of independence and the feeling of confidence and strength that you will get from that is incredible. So when someone does something to you or says something to you and you feel yourself going down that rabbit hole, just stop and think, what am I really upset about here? What is it that is going on that's bothering me? And is it really worth it, my time, to spend being upset about this because this person believes in something that I don't? Or this person wants to argue about something because, they want me to just come over to their side of the fence? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm my own person. I'm going to think and I'm going to believe in whatever I want. And you can go fucking pound sand if you don't like it. So you can be my friend and we can just, get along and be supportive of each other, or you can just go. Because negative energy will not only wear you down mentally, it'll wear you down physically. Ain't no doubt about that. And what's the old saying? Ain't nobody got any time for that. Or ain't nobody got no time for that. I don't remember. Hey, I got a new microphone tonight. A total change of subject. This is what I'm going to do in this podcast because I like to babble on about senseless shit sometimes. I went to go make this episode, right? And I was going to do it probably a couple hours ago, and my microphone didn't work. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, I just used it to record my first episode, and I've been using it to make my YouTube videos that I do. I use it to make my TikTok videos, and all of a sudden, this microphone doesn't work anymore. And it wasn't the USB cable, it was the actual port. And I'm like, well, shit, what am I going to do now? My wife's out. It's Saturday night. She's not home. And I'm like, I got plenty of time to do this. I looked on Amazon, I wasn't going to get this shit for a couple weeks. And I'm like, this sucks. So I was like, oh, wait a minute. We can actually still go to stores and buy stuff, right? That's still a thing. So I went to Target and I got a great microphone. This thing's awesome. Love it. Anyway, that made me happy. That made me happy tonight. I was upset about something and I changed the narrative. And that's what you have to do in your life. You got to flip the script, change the narrative. If something's got you down, you got to turn it around and figure out what you need to do to get yourself in a better place. So listen, if you are suffering and you don't know what to do, I want you to find a therapist. I want you to look for help. I want you to reach out to your friends, anybody who that will support you and understand. And, you need to talk it out. You need to don't suffer in silence anymore. Don't do it. Because you're just going to let it eat away at you and it puts you in a dark place, man. And you don't want to be there. It sucks, go find a dog and pet a dog or some shit. There's so many different coping skills that we're going to talk about out here. But tonight, I just wanted to talk about, like I said, being in control of your own happiness. And so I think I got that point across, and it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to look at somebody and say, you know what? You bring no positivity to my life. And so this needs to change or our relationship's going to have to change. It's a hard thing to do. I get it, but I've done it and it's so freeing. I'm so much happier by not dealing with negative people anymore and taking my happiness back. It's been an incredible, incredible thing. And unfortunately, it took me a long time to get here. Like, I just started this probably in the last couple years. Up until then, it was like a nightmare. And someone could look at me cross-eyed and I'd think, what'd I do to that person? Why is that person mad at me? What did I say? What did I do? Why aren't they talking to me? And really, the problem wasn't me. It was them having a bad day. So that's the message I got for you tonight. I hope this helped. Listen, I'm always going to keep this podcast relaxed and real, and I'm going to try to keep it fun. Talking about mental illness does not have to be this dry, statistical conversation that, a lot of these podcasts that people are having out there. I know it's a lot of, there's a lot of professionals out there that have podcasts, and I would recommend listening to them. What I'm trying to do is come to you from a point of being in the same shoes as you. I know all of our situations are different, but when it comes to certain illnesses, we all have our triggers, and there's a lot of different coping skills that we could all use that'll help. I am not going to pretend to be a therapist, because that would be, number one, unethical, and number two, I don't ever want to say or do the wrong thing and point any of you in the wrong direction. So if you ever feel that you need help, get to a therapist. It's important. Or even just go to your regular doctor. You just need to talk it out with somebody and get going on the right track. Don't suffer alone. All right, this is Joe. This has been My Brain, My Happiness. And I want to say peace, and I love you all. And we'll talk again next time. Have a great night, everybody.